Okay, hello everyone. Greetings from TCC. We are going to deal with practical number 9 from the practical list of security and computing from TYBSC IT now. Syllabus from that syllabus. So this is the configuration they have given. This is the topology, and we have to configure here like we have to deal with layer 2 VLAN security. Layer 2, you all know that is data link layer. VLAN, that is we have to form the virtual LANs here, and we also have to implement the security. So the scenario they have given here, like we have to form virtual LANs here, giving a name number like 5, 10 and 20, and accordingly we have also have to enable the trunking. Trunking is something like forming VLAN. We should still be able to route the traffic on the shared link, means having multiple virtual LANs on shared traffic. Still, this packets how they travel, this frames how they travel, they should get tagged, and accordingly they should be processed and you know forwarded. So we have to deal with that part, and also we have to implement all the security requirements, and we also have to set up one more virtual LAN number 20 for the management purpose. So just stay tuned, we'll see. Along with this you will understand the whole scenario and like what is they have asked for, and you will be able to easily understand like what was this practical all about. So let me go to the configuration. So this is what they have given. So we have got here 8 PCs. Okay, kindly have a look here. C2, C3, C4, they have just renamed them D1, D2, D3, D4 here, and they try to connect it like connect C2, C3 to the same LAN. So that's why they have just named it like C2, C3 and D4 will get connected to the VLAN number 10 virtual LAN. 5 virtual LAN 5 will have C4, D1, D2 and D3, and we have kept this pieces separately. C1 for the management purpose, it will get connected to the virtual LAN number 20. So we have got here central switch also, and the switch have been renamed called switch 1, 2, A and B, and one router we have got of 1941 series and this cloud. So a bit complex this topology is, but you will easily understand that how to actually put all these things together. So let's see step by step. So let me start with the practical. So the first thing we have to take is the router here. Okay, and the best practice is that we kindly give a proper name to it. Okay, let it get booted. Meanwhile I'll place all the other devices which we want. We need switches also, so we need some around like 5 switches we need. Okay, fine. We don't need 2960 series switches. Basically we need 2950 T series switches. So let me come again once again. The router is 1941 and switches 2950 T. So around we need 5 switches. Okay, why this switches? Basically it has got 24 ports starting from fast ethernet 0 to 1 to 24, and along with that there are 2 more ports of gigabit ethernet 01, you all can see here. Okay, so that's why we need this series switches. Okay, so we are done with the switches. Now we'll go with the PCs. So we need PC here, like 4 pieces here on this side and 4 PC here on this side. Okay, now let me make the connection. And one more thing we want, that is cloud, I guess. Not this one. Let me delete it. Yeah, search for the cloud. Okay, here we. So here the cloud PT. Fine. And let's go to the router. Let's rename it properly this time. Okay, router display name will be R1 and even host name will be R1. Okay, close it. One more thing, we also want to have like this router should get connected serially to the cloud. So go to physical, switch it off, place the module of serial ports, switch it on, close it, and kindly do the connection of serial here with this cloud. Okay, done. Now let's rename all the other switches properly. So let me go to the switch, go to config. The name will be like central for this, ignore this, and also central for this host name also. Okay, so here the central is. Then similarly to this switch, go to config, this will be SW1, this will be SW2, this will be SWA, and this will be SWB. Now is the turn for all the species. Yeah, so for this PC name will be, we can directly rename from here, so it will be like C1, C2, C3, C4. On this side we have D1, D2, D3 and D4. Now it's the time for the connection now. So between the switches we want to have a copper crossover, so select it. Now kindly pay attention carefully, like which particular interface we have to select, so that while configuring, while setting up, while firing all the command, you should not face any confusion. So let's see here. So from this switch, okay, to 24, to this switch 24. So basically this connection, they are connected through FA 02424 on both the end. Okay, similarly here also using copper crossover FA 024 to FA 024. So they connected through 024 and 024 like this. Okay, now let's talk about the central, okay, connection. Again copper crossover. Now in this case we have to use gigabit Ethernet port, 2 gigabit Ethernet 01 here. Similarly here, now only one port is remaining on this central switch, that is gigabit 02. Let me come from this end, 01 to, just a sec. Sorry, I was choosing the wrong one. Basically I was choosing the phone, this one, copper crossover, and then select gigabit 01 to gigabit 02. And from here, from central to router, it will be like fast Ethernet. So you can choose any, like actually it will choose the fast Ethernet only. Okay, so if I place the mouse here, you will see. So we are able to connect it from gigabit, and if I place the mouse here, okay, it is connected through FA01 to gigabit 00, like this. Okay, like this. Done. So now let's talk about connecting this devices now. So for that we have to use copper straight through. So click on this, and then okay, we don't have to connect the PC, so let me just cancel it. We don't have to connect C1 now. Okay, we have to connect C2. So let me come from this way, like from this switch. Okay, I'll just leave fast ethernet 01 for C1. So I'll start from 02 to C2, 03 to C3, and 04 to C4. Similarly, on the right hand side, same thing. Choose then 01 to D1, 02 to D2, and D3 and D4 respectively. Done. Okay, now let me just give a labels so that we easily understand like what we have to achieve here. So basically we have to form the virtual LANs first, and so let me put the banner here. Yeah, so this C1 will belongs to VLAN 20 for management purpose. So I'll write down here like management. Okay, then for C2 and C3 they will belongs to VLAN 10. And C4 will belongs to VLAN 5. Along with it, D1 and D2, D3 will also be the part of VLAN 5. Okay, so I'll just place it here. So VLAN 5 is common for D1, D2, D3, and D4 will belongs to VLAN 10. So understand the scenario here, where C4, D1, D2, D3 belongs to same virtual LAN, that is 5, whereas C2, C3 and D4 belongs to virtual LAN number 10. And now accordingly we have to do the configuration, setting up the IP addresses. Okay, after placing the whole topology, now let's set up the IP addresses. So let me go to the router first, this router R1, and we have to configure the serial interface, which is serial 010. So go to config, go to serial 010, and you can actually give any random IP address which belongs to class C. Okay, because they have nothing given, they have not anything mentioned. They have mentioned in the addressing table, they have mentioned if whatever they have mentioned in the practical slips, then accordingly you give it. Otherwise you can pick any particular IP address randomly and just assign it. So I'll just picking up here like 209.165.200.1. Subnet mask will be, but of course it belongs to class C. So 255.255.255.0 and make it on. So this will turn green here. So for a like just for now we just have to configure this interface only. We'll talk about this interface later on. We'll configure it later on. We'll come to that part. Now we have to go to all the PCs. Like we'll start with the C2, C3, C4, then D1, D2, D3, D4, and accordingly pay attention over the virtual LANs naming we have given here. Like C2 and C3 and D4 belongs to virtual LAN 10. We have to make them belongs to virtual LAN 10. So for that reason we'll give IP addresses accordingly. So let me go to C2 here first and go to desktop, go to IP configuration and have a look carefully what IP address we are giving here, like this 192.168.10 because this belongs to virtual LAN 10. So for that reason, just an indication, okay, that third octet will be 10.1 subnet mask, and then default address like default gateway should be 192.168.10.100. Okay, now you all will wonder like where the 100 is, like where which particular thing will be acting as a default gateway. So remember one thing, only we have this router, so we'll assign this address to that router, okay, soon. So let it be like this. So 10.1 was given to C2, 100. Okay, close this, go to C3. Similarly, this also belongs to virtual LAN 10. This has to also belongs to virtual LAN 10. Go to IP configuration, type the IP address 192.168.10.2. One was given already, and the default gateway will remain same, that is 10.100. Okay, then close this. We are done with C2 and C3. Now for let's come to C4. C4 has to belong to virtual LAN 5. So for that reason, go to C4, go to desktop, go to IP configuration, okay, and set the IP address 192.168. And third octet purposely we are keeping 5 here, okay, just an indication for us. 5.1, this will be the first PC, and similarly the default gateway will be 100. Okay, now same we have to do it for D1, D2, D3. Let me do it quickly. This will become 2, close desktop. This will become 3, D3. This will become 4, and finally D4. But remember, D4 has to belong virtual LAN 10. For that reason, we'll go to desktop IP configuration. Now carefully have a look. Third octet will become 10 point. So 1 was already given, 2 was already given to C2 and C3 respectively. So this will get 3. Okay, 1 and 2 was gone. For that reason, this will get 3, and the default gate will be 10.100. So we are done with the configuring IP address to all these 7 PCs and 1 router on this particular specific serial interface. Okay, after that, now we have to configure all the switches and the routers with the passwords. Okay, that enable the password, console password, and also we have to set up the SSH protocol for remote login in all the devices, like including all the 4 switches and the central switch and the router also. So let me fire the command, and the same command you people have to fire in all the other devices. I'll tell you how. So let me go to the router R1 first. Okay, go to CLI. Okay, enable it. Get yourself into configuration mode. Now from here we have to type the command called enable the password, like secret. It stands for like password. I'll giving like ENPA55. Then for after that you have to set the password for console. So line console 0. So now you are in configuration line mode, and set the password for it, like this, with the command called password, and the password will be CONPA55. Now exit from there. You're back in configuration mode. Then IP domain name. Now we have to set up for the SSH. So let's start from IP hyphen domain name CCNA security.com, setting up the domain name here, and then setting up the username admin, then the password with the secret command admin PA55, enter. Then we have to configure the virtual terminal lines like 0 to 4, login local, and then exit from here. Okay, and then generate the crypto key using algorithm RSA, enter. Okay, you people have to exit from the configuration mode also here, like exit, and then fire the same command, that is crypto. And before we do that, it will not allow you to do this. Make sure you change the hostname back to R1, because we can see here that the hostname is router. So go to config, make the changes, make it R1, come back here, and then fire the command. Okay, again write crypto key generate RSA, and it will ask you how many bits, 1024, enter, and done. Okay, so we are done. SSH has been enabled, enable password has been enabled, console password has been enabled. Close this. You have to fire all these commands on central switch, SW1, SW2, SWA, SWB. So you can simply copy paste this command somewhere, like let me show you, like these are the commands. So if I go to notepad, so these are the commands, so I'll simply copy it from here. Okay, we'll do one thing, we'll also put this command in this video description so that you can simply copy it from there. So let me copy this and go to central switch, config mode, sorry, CLI, and here we are in privilege mode. So make sure that you get yourself into configuration mode, and then just paste it, and then click enter 1024. So it will save your time. Done. So here also we have enabled the password, console password has been set. We also have enabled the SSH login, setting up the 1024 crypto key using the algorithm RSA. Same you have to do it for like other switches also. So one more time, let me do it. So let me enable it. Okay, let me get myself into configuration mode, and then again paste it, and done. So this is how you have to fire all these commands in all the 5 switches, also in the router R1.
That's all guys from this video. If you really like this video, press like button and do subscribe to our channel. If any queries or suggestions, do comment below. For more such updates, follow us on Instagram and Facebook.